a king, talk like a king. You can act around now, say the same thing. They chasing the fame, they got one the name, but they ain't got what's running through these veins. Make way for the king. Make way for the big shots, big balls, big rings, big rocks, big bag, big moves, big cars, big man, big plan, get lost. We've been this wrong. Look at me now, you can't hold me down. So give me the crown. We're not the same, we're not the same. We're not the same, we run everything. We're not the same, we're not the same. They ain't got what's running through these veins. Make way for the king.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, to another boys basketball stream here live on Mustang Media. I'm Grant Canoto. Joining me alongside me tonight is Dan Wolf. Dan, how are you?
I'm doing great. Well, we should have an exciting one here tonight. I mean, it's been a lot of games for certainly the Mustangs. I don't know what the Grand Forks Central Knights have had in the past week, but we know the Mustangs played last Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and now again tonight, and then they'll have a few days off before the Friday game against Fargo North. But because of some weather-related reschedules and things like that, it's certainly been a busy week for the Mustangs.
So if we take a quick look here, Grand Forks Central is sitting at a 4-3 overall record, 3-3 in conference play, and then we look at the Mustangs. They're sitting at 3-5 overall and 3-4 in the conference play, just 3.5 games out of first place. Who is the player that for Central that you really think will cause the Mustangs havoc?
That will cause the Mustangs havoc? Well, when you talk about Grand Forks Central, the two main guys that you have to be aware of anytime is Ross Wilbur and Eric Pay. Those guys are averaging, Pay is at 17.4 points per game, 8th in the conference. Wilbur is 15.8 points per game. That's 14th in the conference. And so these are difference makers for Central, and it should be pointed out that Central on Friday night pulled off a huge upset, beating Fargo North, one of the top teams in the conference, by a tightly contested affair, beating them by 2 points. But Grand Forks Central, this is certainly not a team to take lightly going in for the Mustangs tonight. And certainly they're going to have to do a nice job of defending Pay and defending Wilbur. Those are the guys that make things go for the Knights.
Let's take a little closer look into how the Mustangs are going to pull this one off. We'll take a look at the keys to the game for the Mustangs. So first up, really, the hustle plays, doing the little things, everyone rebounds. Your thoughts?
Well, I think that's been the thing. What Cheyenne has struggled with this year, I think, has been consistency in terms of scoring. And, so when you don't have that dynamic scorer like Michael Nile or Jackson Money or some of the players we think of in the last few years, it means you've got to do all the little things really well, because your margin for error becomes so small.
Yep.
So doing those little things, winning those 50-50 balls on the floor, really hustling, paying attention to those defensive rotations is going to be huge.
Another thing is for the Mustangs, they need to win the perimeter, not giving up on contested threes, getting open shots. This Central team is a tremendous shooting team, or shooting team, shooting over 30% from the three-point line.
Yeah, as a team, Central shoots it very well from the outside. And so that is one thing, that perimeter defense is going to be really, really important for the Mustangs tonight. And I'm sure Central has some ideas of how they're going to try and create opportunities to score for Pay and Wilbur. And so Cheyenne being able to read that and still contest those threes is going to be important.
And lastly, play a complete game. This Mustang team has struggled with closing out in the second half, finishing games. So if they can finish a strong half, not turning it over, and then they're 16-0 against this Grand Forks team, so looking to get that, keeping that alive.
Hoping to keep that alive. I think that's been one of the big struggles for Cheyenne this year, has been taking care of the ball. They lead the league, and one of the statistics you don't want to lead in, and that's the most turnovers per game. And so certainly taking care of the ball is going to be really important. And this Cheyenne team shoots it pretty well themselves. And so if they're able to kind of convert on some of those opportunities and take care of the ball, they'll have a chance. But the one thing, Cheyenne doesn't have a single scorer that's near the near the top in terms of the EDC in points per game. You can do that if you get consistent scoring every night from the same players, but that's been something that they've struggled with, is getting consistent scoring. And I think we're hoping with the victory against Red River on Saturday that maybe we've kind of turned a corner for the Mustangs, that maybe they're relying on, they know what rotation they want to use and what players are going to see significant time. And so certainly Cheyenne's hoping to build on that momentum from that great win on Saturday against the Red River Rough Riders.
So those were the keys to the game for this one. We'll take a short break for the national anthem and be back soon.
There is no off-season for greatness. You do what it takes to stay in the game. And so do we. Our commitment is to keep you moving forward. Essentia Health, Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine. Like nowhere else.
So welcome back after the break. We talked about earlier, before the break, excuse me, about the player for the Central Knights, or players for the Central Knights that you thought was going to create havoc for these Mustangs. Who do you think offensively and defensively for the Mustangs do you think will be the X factor?
Boy, that, I think that if we knew the answer to that, I bet you Coach Brandt would be on the phone with us right now asking. I think that's been that search that Cheyenne has struggled for, is finding that consistency from one guy, that go-to guy. We know that, Tommy Oneman and Bryce Kane can be difference makers inside, but probably their mobility is a little bit of a factor when they have to try and guard guys on the outside. Turning the ball over has been an issue. I'm going to go out on a limb, and it's not so much from scoring, but I think Sullivan Irie tonight is just going to have to do a better job of taking care of the ball. It's something he's shown flashes of, and we certainly know he's capable of, but we just haven't seen it a ton. So I don't think it's so much going to be a scoring thing. I think that if we take care of the ball, Cheyenne will get the looks that they want, and we're a good enough shooting team. It's just we can't shoot ourselves in the foot with bad mistakes and turnovers. So I'm going to pick Sullivan Irie tonight, just more so for the ball handling and taking care of the possessions than it is so much from a scoring. I think we have enough scorers out there that someone's going to be able to make some points happen, whether it be Bile or Deere or someone like that. Might even be our own Riley Rahr coming off the bench. He's seen some good minutes, quality minutes right now as well. It's going to have to be a team effort. We don't have Mike Nile. We don't have one of those big-time scorers that Cheyenne has had for the last 2-3 years. So they're going to have to find a way to score by committee, take care of the ball, and hopefully that means good things will happen and they'll have a chance at the end of the game.
taking care of the ball has been an issue, as we see Mustangs are last in turnovers, which per game, so they have the most turnovers per game. Yep, in the EDC. So
that's just something that you know, sometimes those things happen, but I just know it's happening at a frequency that Coach Brandt is not looking for, and so we'll see how they do with that tonight as Cheyenne gets the opening tip and the first chance to score.
As we see an early turnover there by Caleb Deere. Guy goes up to the basket, can't get that to fall.
Yeah, that was a good opportunity for Red River. Just that pass got going out there a little bit too far for Pay to convert on. Good job tracking it down, but found himself under the hoop. So we'll see if this time around, if Cheyenne can have an opportunity to get a decent look at the basket.
So Irie kicks to Bile. Bile drives in. It's a little shot, no good, but pulled down by Deere. Deere can't get that to fall, and Pay.
I was going to say, I think Pay got a hand on that. And that's one of the things that Caleb Deere is doing really well as a rebounder, and he's active around the basket. So that's something that, you know, certainly if you can get yourself multiple opportunities on the floor, not be limited to just that one shot on offense, that's going to give you an opportunity. You don't have to shoot it great every time out. Quick trigger there by Pay, unable to convert. Little spinning.
Good defense there by Bryce Kane to not let that easy one go in.
You know, that's a really good sequence of defense there for the Mustangs. And, you know, we mentioned in the pregame as one of the keys is defending the three, but I think that was a good job of protecting the rim and a rotation as guys were looking to get downhill and force something there. So I think if Cheyenne's able to continue to do that, they'll be in good hands. That was Ross Wilbur, one of the guys, that was Cole Wilbur on that one. Brothers, sophomore and a junior. There's Bile with a good look.
He gets that to fall, so Mustangs able to answer back from that jump shot from Wilbur. Wilbur brings the ball up and passes to his brother, gets the ball back. Pay gives him a screen. Wilbur pulls up from three and nails it.
2 in a row for Cole Wilbur.
Like we said earlier, Mustangs need to lock down that perimeter as we see an early three from the Knights. Clemenson drives in, puts the shot up, rolls around the rim and gets it to fall.
It's a good job. Bryce Kane was posting up in there against Pay, and I would think, you know, if you can put some defensive pressure on Pay, that's going to take a little bit out of his offensive abilities, and maybe you could get him in foul trouble. That's something that we'll have to see if Cheyenne's able to exploit throughout the night, whether it's to Kane or to Ammerman. Sorry, long day already.
Strandel's shot falls as Deere answers back with a three.
We said both of these teams could shoot it,
yep, and
we've seen that. And I don't think that it's necessarily been lapses in defense by either team. They're just shooting it well right now.
Simmers on the wing, pass to Pay up top. Drives in, left hand.
Yeah, and
that fall.
That's one of those things where our bigs, you know, generally have trouble defending on the perimeter like that against quicker players, as we see Deere unable to convert on that three, but good hustle by Bile, just couldn't corral it. You know, I wouldn't be shocked to see Cheyenne go with a little smaller lineup at times tonight and maybe forego one of the bigs on the floor and just try and use that quickness that they have to see if they can create some opportunities.
Bile open three from the wing and nails it. Dylan Bile from three. Wilbur passes to his brother on the wing. Gets a screen from Pay. Drives in, puts up a floater.
That was really good hesitation. That hesitation move there got him the separation he was looking for. As we see Sully Irie push that one. Ooh.
Poor pass by Bryce Kane as Strandell goes up with the
nice
right hand.
Euro step there to finish. And we can see Central showing a little bit of pressure here. certainly not a secret that Cheyenne's had trouble handling the ball and not turning it over at times this year, and so Central probably going to try and exploit that occasionally when they can. Probably off of made baskets. That's generally the easiest.
Good move there by Casey Clemenson. A quick cut to the left side, draws foul.
As Bryce Kane's going to go out, Tommy Ottoman's going to replace him.
Deere finally gets it in Ottoman. Ottoman passes to Sully up top. Casey Clemenson, good pump fake.
Yep.
Oh, pass just mishandled by Ottoman. That was a good pass. As Pay goes up and slams it down. Good quick transition basket there.
He is a good athlete, no doubt about that.
Deere up top, pass to Clemenson. Clemenson. Shot
That
can't fall.
Fadeaway doesn't fall. Ooh.
Wilbur goes
Nice.
up with the right hand. Good
Nice
move.
job by Ross Wilbur exploiting that hole in the defense there. This is certainly something Cheyenne needs to be wary of, not dropping into some big hole here. And they're going to get, thought it was maybe going to be on him,
Yep.
but they're going to say no, that one was on Cole Wilbur, as we have Barry Penu, Ross Olson, and Noah Olson. God dang. And Riley Rahr coming in for the Mustangs. Little wholesale substitution here.
Pass almost mishandled by Barry Pino. Able to retain possession. Deere kicks out to Bile. Bile Thurar. Almost tipped away by Simmers. That shot is swatted away by Schrandell. Simmer goes up with the right hand, and it's an easy transition basket. So the Mustangs down 7 early in this one. Bile maybe had Rahr open for a bit as Noah Olson drives in.
Nice job by Noah Olson
shot
there. It's kind of that dribble weave up top, looking for an opportunity to get downhill and get to the rim.
Wilbur on the wing. It's a screen from Pay. Good defense there by Riley Rahr as he forces a turnover there. Bodies on the ground. Riley Rahr calls a timeout.
Smart play there as bodies were flying all over on the floor. Knights lead the Mustangs 17-12, 11:43 to go. We'll be back in just a moment.
Hi, I'm TJ Yoshi here at Marvin headquarters in Warroad, Minnesota. The Lake Town way of life is appealing to so many people.
We've got a thriving school system, coffee shops, breweries, restaurants, and hockey is the hub of our community. We're probably the last place left in Minnesota where hockey is actually free.
The way Marvin supports the town supports Marvin is awesome.
There's opportunities for you, work hard, self-educate. The sky's the limit here at Marvin.
So welcome back from the break. Knights are up by 5, 17-12, with 11:43 left to go in this first half. Mustangs do have the ball.
Good defensive sequence last time down. Pino getting his hand on the ball, and then ball was released, and then Riley Rahr ended up with it on the floor. So we'll see if Cheyenne's able to dig into the Knight lead here a little bit.
Barry Pino up top. Pass to Ottoman. Gets the ball back. Pass to Rahr.
Again, that dribble weave in there.
Ball tipped around and stolen by Schrandell.
Rahr was looking for a foul there. Thought there was a little bit of contact, but no call from the refs.
Pay up top. Pass to Wilbur. Schrandell, right hand. Can't get that to fall. Good defense by the Mustangs. Noah Olson passed down to Tommy Ottoman on the block. Puts up a left-handed shot, can't fall. But he tips it back in the basket.
I think that's one thing you're going to want to do is attack Pay down there on offense if possible and see if you can get him into foul trouble or see if he has to back off a little bit and let you get some good opportunities. Tommy Oneman, that size, is a difference maker on the inside. Great cut, great back
Good
door,
pass.
and good vision. Strandell to pay, and the finish.
19-14. Grand Forks Central is up. Oneman from deep.
That's maybe not the shot you're hoping for.
Wilbur pass to Pay. Strandell to Pay in the corner. Good defense down on the low block by Tommy
That's a good job
Oneman.
by Oneman not to foul, just to contest. He does a good job.
Noel
Long
Olson
range.
from deep. Short. Goes out of bounds, and that'll be Central's ball. Deep three from Noel Olson.
So I think Coach Brandt there may be wanting his team to see if they can get to the rim a little more frequently instead of settling for 20 or 22 footers, at least early in the shot clock.
Wilbur bringing the ball up. Gets a screen, kicks out the Simmers on the corner. Can't get that three to fall.
They're going to call a jump on
ball.
that. I think that was a good job by Deere. He was looking for opportunities to get a hand on the ball without fouling and is ultimately able to. Possession stays with the Knights, but good job. As we've seen tonight, Cole Wilbur kind of all over the floor. He was the one that tracked down and got that rebound initially and forces Barry Pino into a foul that time. So Wilbur certainly seems to be all over the floor early on.
Strandell kicks up to Simmers. Simmers drives in. Left side, can't get that to fall. Rebounded by Olson. No, Olson drives in. Guarded heavily. Riley Rahr from three.
That's the look you want.
And that falls. Riley Rahr from
Riley
deep.
Rahr, good shooter. Good recognition by Noah Olson. He had a couple of options to kick out there, and a Central player was looking to shut down one lane, and he found Rahr, and Rahr able to convert.
That's Simmers in the corner. Drives baseline. Kick out. Jonas from three.
Nothing
and
but
that
net.
falls. Good answer from Jonas.
It was, and one of the pregame keys is contesting at the three-point line, and somehow Jonas ended up all alone out there. And on a team that shoots it well, that's what they're going to do, is knock down open looks more times than not.
Deere on the wing, pass to Pino up top. They're going to get Pino with an offensive foul.
With that left arm, saying he pushed off on that.
So in for the Mustangs, Casey Clemenson and Sully Irie. Ross Wilbur, number 15, Trey Wyman for the Central Knights. Wilbur looking for a screen. Likes not to use it. Kicks out to Jonas in the corner again. And Jonas gets another three
Two
to
in a
fall.
row. Defender coming to try and help and losing sight of Jonas. He makes Cheyenne pay 2 in a row now, and that extends the night lead to 8.
Casey Clemenson up top. Drives in, kicks out to Riley Rahr in the corner. Rahr can't get his shot to fall. Wilbur on the wing. It's a screen from Lund. Good pick and roll there. Lund with the left hand gets that to fall.
Yeah. Coach Brandt's going to want to talk about that as the lead has grown to 10 here with 7:36 to go. We'll step away for a break and be right back.
So welcome back from the break. Central Knights lead the Mustangs 27-17 with around 7:35 left to go in this first half. Some little mental lapse, it seemed like, on defense for the Mustangs, allowing some open threes.
3 consecutive trips, I think, losing sight of Jonas twice, and he made him pay. And then that screen and roll, just a lack of recognition as to what was happening on that pick, who was taking who, and ended up that.
Good baseline find by Dylan Bile to Casey Clemenson. He gets a reverse layup to fall.
And we saw Noah Lund just screen and roll to the basket, and a mistake there defensively. So
Jonas up top, dish to Wyman.
And it's one thing, you know, if you're as a defensive player, you know, there are times that a player's going to score on you even when you play really good defense. But one of the issues that I think, oh, wow, that's Ross Wilbur kind of throws up a desperation and banks one in. But one of the things that Cheyenne, that Coach Brandt is probably upset with is just, you know, not knowing what we're doing in terms of our rotation, what we want to do. So we see the dribble weave there. Irie with a pump fake, can't convert. 10-point lead with 6.5 to go. Cheyenne's going to want to make sure that they can dig into this and maybe get it down to 5 or 6 before the end of the half. You certainly don't want to go into the locker room down by 13 or 15 or something like that. As we see Lund fighting there, but good job by Clemenson holding him off.
Good pass to Bile there by Clemenson. Clemenson fouled and one.
It's something we haven't seen a lot from the Mustangs tonight, and that would be, you know, transition opportunities. Central, I think, has done a pretty good job of getting back on defense. And, you know, anytime in basketball, I think if you can push tempo and get yourself some easy looks and see if you can draw some fouls, that's definitely what you want to do. And it's been a relatively light game in terms of fouls. The Knights have only committed 3, the Mustangs only 2. And with 12 minutes into the half, that's not something you see very often.
Pay checking back in for the Knights and gets the board. So unable to convert on that three-point play for the Mustangs. Pay kicks out to Jonas. Jonas to Wyman. Good dish to Pay. Pay makes him pay.
Yeah, that's kind of hard to fault Oneman there. He came over to try and help, but really good pass by Wilbur, finding Pay, and then just Pay's too quick, went up too quickly for Oneman to do anything about as Irie gets to the hoop and converts there.
Good move by Sully Irie to score. Wilbur up top, pass to Jonas on the wing. Simmers up top. Drives in left, dishes off to Pay. Pay slams it down.
They're
going to call a technical foul on Pay.
T, are they going to call that hanging on the rim or the pull down of the rim?
They're going to get him for a technical foul.
Not sure exactly what the rationale is there by the ref, but must have seen something that he thought was worthwhile here. So
Deere misses his first shot at the line.
I think Cheyenne's got to do a better job of defending on the perimeter. They're letting Central get way too deep, and Oneman's coming over to help and trying not to commit a foul. But as he comes over to help, then that pass is getting right past him, and in that instance, Pay was able to throw it down. So here's one of those instances of that smaller lineup for the Mustangs, as neither Oneman or Kane on the floor. We'll see how Cheyenne is able to handle this defensively, but see if this creates some opportunities offensively for them.
Har thought about it. The pass to Irie. Bile up top, kicks Harar. Deere fighting for ground down low. Good move.
It was a really good spin move and unable to finish there, but that was nicely done by Deere. It was a good look.
Trandell up top, kicks to Wilbur. Jonas on the wing, kicks down to Pay. Pay with the right hand.
That was a really good job by RAR defensively, and Coach Brandt is asking for the offensive foul on there, looking that Pay had dropped that shoulder into RAR. He's not getting what he wants, but I'm sure he's going to continue to work that possibility. Good spin move and a left hand by Deere, unable to convert.
Good job by Jonas, able to keep that ball in. As he knocks Casey Clemenson over.
And then they're going to get Clemenson coming back, yeah.
Maybe a little bit of a frustration foul as he was knocked over.
Well, Clemenson, when he went down, was holding his hands out like, what's the deal? That should have been a foul, and realized he had to get up and re-engage, but he was just a half second late on that pass out there, and so he commits the foul. Only the third on the Mustangs, 4 on the Knights so far.
Schrandell gets the fall.
And now the lead has grown to 13 as we go under 4 minutes here.
Clemenson drives. They're going to get him.
Going to get Clemenson on a hook there, I think.
Yep.
So the lead has grown to 13. You know, this Knights team, very active, very athletic team, quick guards. They make you work on the defensive end, and they do a good job defensively as well. In their movement, their switching, their on-the-ball defense, they do a really nice job. So in watching them, I can see that it maybe wasn't a massive shock as we see Simmers get to the basket there and convert. Probably not a massive shock that this was a team that was able to hold on and beat Fargo North last Friday.
The Central team looks tremendously athletic, active, high tempo, high motor. They're getting good looks at the basket. They're playing good, solid defense. They're doing everything right.
Well, they are, and I think, you know, we've seen opportunities where they've driven and kicked out and converted on open 3 opportunities, and then other times getting to the basket, a Cheyenne defender rotates over, but that second rotation doesn't come quickly enough, and so it's a dump off and an easy look for 2 points, and Central was really, I think, executing probably what their game plan was for tonight. And that is what you give up when you go with a smaller lineup. You don't have that rim protector. You don't have Kane. You don't have Oneman at the basket who have the opportunity to try and affect shots there. And so Cheyenne's going to have to see if they can buckle down and maybe put a little run together here for the rest of the half and see if they can get this to single digits.
Bile drives in. He's fouled, so he'll go to line to shoot 2.
I think that's Ross Wilbur on that one. Send Bile to the line.
Bile's first shot connects. Second shot. Off the back iron, pulled down by Simmers. So able to get the lead down to 14 with that one made free throw. So they kick it down to Pay. Good spin move by Pay. And he gets that to fall with the right hand.
He does have the size advantage over RAR, and he's a strong young man, and so and really quick with his feet as well. His footwork is very exceptional. So he's getting to the basket and getting the looks that he wants on those. Good job by RAR that time.
Good positioning there,
Yeah, good position, boxed out, so it's off of Pay's hand. And now Oneman and Noah Olson back in.
2 good rebounders for the Mustangs. Careless pass, Pay tips it away.
Good job by Bile.
And that's another turnover for the Mustangs. Ball's loose again, and the Knights turn it over.
Pretty sloppy sequence there by both teams. Both teams thinking that they had opportunities. There's another offensive foul on Clemenson. That's going to be his 3rd this half. Probably Coach Brandt's going to have to go to the bench, and he does with Sully Irie here, I'm guessing, for Clemenson. with 2:21 to go, and the Mustangs down 16 at this point.
Casey Clemenson looks a little frustrated, like he got knocked over a couple times too. He wants the same thing, but that was a definite foul there.
Yeah, that was an offensive foul, no doubt about that, but probably that feeling of why aren't we getting the same types of call at our end as the Mustangs' perspective, and certainly Coach Brand's perspective, as I think Olsen picks up the reach in on that. No, they're going to say it was Deere.
That's Deere's first foul. Strandell pulls up. He gets that to fall. 43-25, Central leads with 2 minutes left to go here in this first half.
There's a good job by Irie getting inside. Little pump fake, got Pay in the air and didn't want to commit the foul, so he let Irie go up quickly for that one, and he's able to convert, and that one's going to go off of Cole Wilbur and go back to the Mustangs. So down 16 with 1:42. If you can get a couple good possessions here and a defensive stop, you maybe get that down to around 10. That's got to feel a lot better than 16 or 18 at halftime, that's for sure.
Noah Lund is in for Eric Pay. Sully gets a screen. Irie gets a screen from Oneman. 3 from Olsen, can't fall. Bile from deep. Can't get that to fall either, but good rebound by Tommy Oneman.
Central fans asking for a push-off on Oneman there. Didn't get it.
Good defense.
Oh, little no-look pass. Irie thought he knew Oneman was open down there, but good job by Ross Wilbur getting back into position. That one's not going to draw iron from Simmers. So it's been a very frantic pace here for the last minute or two of the half, with both teams finding it difficult to convert on good looks. So under a minute now to go. Still the 16-point lead by the Knights.
Jonas checked in for Ross Wilbur there. Sully Irie drives in. And that ball's tipped out by Strandell.
Yeah, Irie turned his back looking for someone to pass to. Strandell, good job just knocking it free. Good up and under move, but doesn't draw iron. And Strandell was asking for a foul. So both sides a little unhappy, thinking that there's been some contact that hasn't been called here. But regardless, you got to play with what's going on the floor.
Irie on the wing.
About a 4-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Under 10 now on the shot clock.
Bile drives in,
Good
puts up a
drive.
shot, gets that to fall. Good decision.
Tough shot because his momentum was carrying him to the left and still had to get up a shot. As we see Wilbur miss on that one. And so the Knights are going to enter halftime up by 14, 43-29. I don't know, Grant, first half, I think Central was just the more active team. Active defensively, those active hands, they swatted a bunch of balls, they got some steals. They were able to take advantage of some poor passes by Cheyenne at times and convert those to opportunities to score. So probably not the way Coach Brandt was hoping this first half was going to go after that victory on Saturday at Grand Forks Red River. Certainly they're not out of it, but they're going to have to clean some things up. And, again, we were talking about scoring. You can score by committee, but no one, Biles had a couple of good shots, but he's kind of been the only scorer that the Mustangs have had this half. Someone else is going to have to step up and start consistently getting some opportunities at the rim.
So the Central Knights lead the Cheyenne Mustangs 43-29. We'll be back shortly with some halftime analysis and some first half stats.
I think what makes Touchmark special is how you feel when you walk into Touchmark at Harwood Groves. We often hear that it's like a North Dakota hug.
I think it's the people that make Touchmark special.
One of the things that makes Touchmark is the caliber of the team members here.
You could ask them for anything and they'll say, we'll take care of it.
Every day that we walk in these doors, we really take time to listen to each other, to listen to our residents, and to be there and to be a friend.
I chose a career in manufacturing because I wanted to come into work and not be at a desk all day. So with my role, I get to be out on the floor and working with other people, and then come back to my desk and try and solve some of the problems that they're facing.
When people look at a manufacturing plant, they mostly just see line work. But there's a lot more going on behind the scenes that allows you to explore different kinds of network interfaces or problem-solving situations. There's machines and computers and human interface devices that are constantly being innovated into a manufacturing workplace.
The best days at work are when you get to solve the problem, or when you finally get that aha moment and you know, okay, like this is gonna be it. Like this is what we've been thinking about. This is what we've been hoping for.
Knowing that I'm but a part of building something very unique and important, that just makes me very proud.
So Mustang fans, as we see right now, this is the Cheyenne Drumline performing here at halftime.
Yes. What are they doing?
So welcome back after that wonderful performance from the Cheyenne Drumline talented group. So we look at the scoreboard. Knights are up 43-29. It just seems like they've been playing just a much better brand of basketball.
They have been, you know, we talked at the pregame about defending the threes. And Central's made a few threes, but I think what's really hurt Cheyenne is the rest of the defending on the half court. They've gotten so much penetration from time to time that it's really caused fits for the Mustangs in terms of a rotation. You know, it's one of those things you work on and you try to clean up. And I know for Coach Brandt, he's looking for consistency. He's trying to find that core group of guys that are going to consistently do the right things night after night after night, and they just kind of seem to they'll be really focused and play well for 3, 4, 5 minutes, and then there's kind of some mental lapses, and then that, you know, unfortunately other teams take advantage of that and really have hurt Cheyenne, and that's what we've seen tonight. It was a tight game, and suddenly it was double digits after a couple of made threes and a couple of drives and dishes to guys that were wide open. We also talked about taking care of the ball. There's been a few bad passes, some turnovers that, you know, those can be worked on and cleaned up. But, boy, it's just some things are going to have to change in the second half, just consistency-wise, if Cheyenne's going to have a chance to get into this. We talked about the importance of maybe getting it into single digits before halftime. At 14 down, you're going to have to expend a lot of energy just trying to get back into this. And then the question will be, will you have enough energy to get yourself over the top? So we'll see if Tim Brandt, you know, maybe address some of these things at halftime, or we'll see if Cheyenne decides to do a little pressing, a little pressuring, something, maybe a little different look on defense, just to kind of throw Central off of their game. Otherwise, I'm guessing if you're Central, you're going to say we want to keep doing the things that we have. Be active on the defensive end, contesting shots, good rotation, you know, active hands, getting in passing lanes. Then offensively, just keep doing the things we have been. Let's get to the basket, and if someone comes over to help, let's look to dish it off and see if we can get an easy look out of that.
So Mustangs look like they are able to do some of that high-pressure defense, as both teams really didn't have much of trouble issues early in the first half. Maybe Casey Clemenson picked up, what was that? Did he have 3?
He has 3 fouls, so, a couple of offensive fouls, but I think that's the only real foul trouble for anyone. So, you know, if Cheyenne's going to attempt to kind of pressure the ball a little bit here in the second half, that is an option. It's just Clemenson will have to be wise about having the 3 fouls and not getting that 4th, because that's probably going to send him to the bench for a while. And we'll see how this goes, as Cheyenne's going to start with Clemenson and Deere, Bile, Oneman, and Irie.
Case Clemenson.
And they're going to get a quick one on Simmers.
Simmers looking for an explanation. That's Simmers for second.
Yeah, I think Simmers contending that Clemenson just kind of tripped himself up, but not how the refs saw it. There's a 5-second call. So I think there was some confusion on who was supposed to cut where at what point. Cheyenne is going to drop into a half-court look defensively here.
Wilbur brings the ball up. Hands it off to his brother.
Yeah,
that's Strandell.
That dribble weave.
Wilbur guarded by Clemenson. Good defense. Shot clock's under 10. Simmers.
And there's that rotation that was missing in the first half. Great job by Bile. Oh, too bad he couldn't finish that up. But a great job by Bile stepping in, recovering, and taking that dump pass that Central tried to put on there that they got away with a handful of times in the first half. Good job by Oneman contesting. Pays relentless down there, though, and he's so strong. And he just keeps going up with that ball.
Deere thought about it, but passed it to Sully-Irie. Clemenson drives in, lost handle. And that's taken in by Pay, pushed up the court. Strandell goes in with the left hand, and he gets that to
something
convert.
Central did, not every trip down, but when they see an opportunity to get out and run, they do it, and they fill the lanes well. They know their responsibilities, and I think both Wilbers are really good handling the ball and seeing the floor and making the smart pass and giving their bigs a chance to finish as they fill in the lanes, as Bile gets a good drive and gets that one to fall. Still with 16-point lead for Central, and I would think if you're Cheyenne, you're thinking, okay, by 10 minutes to go, we got to be in single digits, or if it could be 12 minutes, if we can get to single digits, that would be the ultimate goal, and then see if you can put the put the gas on for the last 10 minutes and see if you can get over the hump there. Zyrie dishes and gives up that one.
Wilbur, that's a 2. Gets that to convert.
Nice job. That's a tough shot. Have your momentum going up floor and stop and rise straight up and knock that shot down, as there's another turnover. Good pass by Wilbur to Pay, and he stepped out of bounds. Wilbur's a little upset with himself there with that pass. He thought he'd given it in a good spot, but Pay just overled him by just a bit, as Barry Penhu's going to be back to run the offense for the Mustangs.
Good job by Pay of filling the lane there and getting a good look. Bile drives in, unable to do anything. Pass to Deere. Good defense here by the Central Knights.
Good defense by the Knights. It's
swatted away by Strandell.
Probably, Cheyenne fans used to seeing Mike Nile just kind of get to the rim at will in previous years. Oh, and another one thrown down by Pay. I think that was Strandell who came in behind and poked that one out.
Leads up to 20 for the Knights. Clemenson drives in. Good defense there by Ross Wilbur.
Active hands.
Yep. Strandell from 3. Can't get that to fall. Good position by Barry Pinu. Forces a foul on.
I guess Cole Wilbur will be his second. But this 14-point lead has grown to 20 in not quite 4 minutes. Cheyenne's going to have to get a hold on things as Zach Niles in now, Riley Rohr and Noah Olson, along with Deere and Penhu. They're going to call offensive on that. Kind of see that coming.
Yep. Central done a really good job tonight of staying in there and drawing that contact. Jonas back into the game for the Central Knights.
And with this small lineup, I would expect them to look to Pay at some point on the inside. Try and see if they can exploit that matchup against Rohr. Good cut back door, good give. Pay unable to finish, but wow, that was good passing. Good cut by Sartell, and then the immediate recognition that Pay was open. As Noah Olson drops a 3 from the corner. Good transition. But that was really good passing by the Knights there. Pay just unable to convert.
Jonas. Pay up top. Drives in. Little spin move. Loses his feet. Ball thrown up in the air and tipped out of bounds by Wilbur as the Mustangs get the ball.
Pay was out of control and flipped it out to Jonas, and surprised that he was able to save that. Lofted it up in the air and ends up going out of bounds. So here's a chance for Cheyenne. See if they can, couple good possessions in a row here, see if they can make something happen as Barry Penhu gets a good look and converts on that 3.
Leads back down to 14 for the Mustangs here.
So a couple good jobs of, same thing that Cheyenne struggled with a little bit in the first half. Loss of recognition by the Knights on where the shooters were and leaving open looks for first Noah Olson and then for Barry Penu, and good job active hands that time on defense for the Mustangs.
Good job by Noah Olson getting a hand in there, not letting Pay drive to the basket.
It's funny how a couple of good defensive sequence or a couple of good shots going, suddenly that defense ramps up and you get things going a little bit.
Gear up top.
They're going to call it travel there on Penu.
So in for the Central Knights, in for his brother Cole Wilbur. (37-51), 12-20 left to play in this second half. Strandell up top, kicks to Jonas on the wing. Jonas down to Pay as Pay converts.
Great job by Pay using leverage there, getting Rar on his hip and just keeping him there and moving him up the lane just enough to create a good passing angle and a spot for a drop step.
Riley Ruhr at the top of the key. Picks up his dribble, able to hand it off to Olson. Kyle up top, step back three.
No, it's
two.
Was on the line, but still going to go off of Pay there. It's going to go back to the Mustangs.
Deere gets the ball into Nile. Nile shoots. That shot's off too. Good hustle by Barry Pino to get the ball back after that one. As Deere's three.
Noah Olson in the right spot.
Great
Converts.
assist by Caleb Deere. Shot didn't hit rim,
So Cheyenne is fighting here this second half, and this smaller, quicker lineup, I think, paying some dividends most of the time down. They're still looking for Pay to see if he can exploit a little matchup against Riley Rar, but Rar doing what he can to keep Pay off of the block. And there's a good box out by Riley Rar. Here's a chance to push tempo maybe a little bit, see if they can get something quick and easy.
Rar from deep. Just off.
I think that's a shot that they're okay with. Riley Rar shoots it well, so getting that deep penetration and that kick out, Rar could set up and take his time with that, just unable to convert. Jonas inside, no good.
Riley Rar looking for a, throws his arms up in frustration, maybe looking for a foul there, but Mustang's able to pull that ball down. Good move by Nile, but that ball is tipped out of his hands. They're going to get Barry Pino on that.
It was a flop, I know that. But I don't think he was in the restricted area, but the ref saying that he was not set prior to Strandell and his little Euro step across the lane there.
Strandell will go to line, shoot two as his first shot. Rolls around and gets the ball.
Quick moving second half here, Grant. No timeouts and just things clicking right along as we're down to 10:21 to play. Knights maintain a 15-point lead. It was 14 at halftime. Up to 16 once again here. And there's their first timeout of the half as Central's going to take a timeout. We'll do the same. We'll be right back after the break. Hey Mustang fans, Essentia Health is proud to be the premier partner of Mustang Media, working with Cheyenne High School to make a healthy difference in the lives of the students and families we are privileged to serve. Essentia Health like nowhere else.
So coming out of that timeout, Central Knights will lead the Cheyenne Mustangs 55-39 with 10:20 left to go in this second half.
Probably just a substitution timeout and an opportunity to just kind of.
Hi, I'm TJ Oshie here at Marvin headquarters in Warroad, Minnesota.
What it is they want to do here with a 16-point lead as we come down towards 10 minutes to go in the second half.
Riley Rahr shoots from deep.
Nice job by Caleb Deere to try and keep that alive. And they're going to say it went off of Central. So Cheyenne retains possession. It'll be an opportunity for another possession. See if there's a way to dig into this Knight lead.
Cheyenne gets it into Barry Pinu. Pass to Nile. Nile Terrar.
Wow, those hands are all over for the Knights. Good job by Penu getting to the basket. And they're going to say once again it's Cheyenne ball, but since that didn't draw iron, there's now 9 left on the shot clock. Boy, Central, just those hands are so active all over the place.
Olsen's 3. Short. Pulled down by Strandell. Wilbur quick with it. Passes it out to Strandell. Wilbur from deep. In and out. Good look for the Knights. Good move by Nile.
Good crossover by Nile. Got that guy moving to his left up the lane or up the sideline. Changed direction and got to the basket. I think that's one that maybe Pay would have been there for to try and defend, but Lund just a little bit slower, wasn't able to be there, and so Nile gets to the basket.
Wilbur can't get that to fall.
Oh, and Noah Olson can't bring it in. Penu almost had the steal. Noah Olson contested and then had a chance for the rebound and unfortunately went off his hands. And Central retains possession and a fresh 30 on the shot clock.
Wilbur on the wing. Dribbles up top. Crossover. Kick out to Jonas in the corner.
That's where he converted in the first half. Unable to there. Yeah. And that just good idea by Penu, but Jonas hustling back, runs into the passing lane. There's Ross Wilbur pulling up, converting on the 3.
Leads up to 17 for the Central Knights. Ball tipped around again. Olsen able to come up with it. Past the Rahr. Rahr's shot doesn't hit rim. Pulled down by Jonas. Wilbur on the wing.
To Cole Wilbur. Quick release, unable to convert there.
Nile drives in, kicks out to Noah Olsen.
Shan doing a nice job of keeping that ball moving. Rewarded with a good look for Noah Olsen as Caleb Deere now gets one from the corner. Unable to convert. They're going to call a foul on Jonas there. And a little verbal warning, I think, from the ref about arguing that. So Jonas picks up the foul. Only the third team foul for the Knights this half. Only 2 on the Mustangs thus far.
And for the Mustangs, Dylan Bile and Casey Clemenson. And then Eric Pay and Simmers back in for the Central Knights. Good find off the inbound pass, and Casey Clemenson's fouled. He'll go to line and shoot 2.
I think that one's also going to be on Jonas. It was a good find. Clemenson tried to go up for the reverse layup, but too much contact to get the shot up. But still draws the foul. He goes to the line for 2.
Clemenson's first.
So with 10 minutes plus, 10 and a half gone in the second half, and that lead still sitting at 16. Time's going to be running out for Cheyenne here They're going to have to get on a run in the next couple of minutes and get that to single digits. They're going to have a chance of digging out of this one.
Clemenson 2 of 2 from the line. Wilbur up top, guarded by Clemenson.
Good job by
Dribbles it out of
Clemenson.
bounds. Should be Cheyenne's ball with 7:10 left to go in the second half. Right idea for Deere.
Bile flashing to the
Deere,
middle
yeah.
and look for that pass. Bile couldn't handle it, but it went off of a Knight. So Cheyenne have an opportunity to inbound this guy.
20 seconds left on the shot clock. Nile drives in, kicks out to Bile in the corner. Bile drives in, puts up a floater, and he gets that to fall.
Good little jump hook there. 13 now. Another stop or two and a conversion on the other end, and you've got her to single digits. And that gives you a chance.
Feed down to Pay down low. Kicks out to Jonas in the corner. Jonas shoots, and that's off. Pulled down by Pay. He loses it.
Good job by the Mustangs. Some chances for the Knights there, but Cheyenne able to contest and get themselves a chance to dig into this. They're going to get Jonas one more time on the ground with a little hand check. So that'll be the third on Jonas, fifth on the Knights.
Strandell in for Jonas. That's 5 team fouls for the Knights. Bile in the corner, shoots. Hard.
Good rebound by Nile, and that was a good look for Bile. Certainly what the Mustangs were looking for, and they're going to get Pay on that one. They're going to say with a little arm check as well, and that's now 6 on the Knights. So next one is the bonus. Cheyenne continuing to try and dig into this 13-point lead.
Good move by Peno. Goes up with the right hand and gets that to fall. So leads down to 11 for the Central Knights.
So this is where the Mustangs need to come up big with another stand here. Good job by Bile providing help over on Pay. There again.
Good defense
Bile
down low by
gets
the
those
Mustangs.
hands inside.
Clemson, Pino in the corner. Back to Clemson, cross court pass to Bile. Bile drives in. Loses it for a second, that's swatted away by Strandell.
Smart move by Clemenson, pull it out, reset here. And they're going to call a travel on that one. Nile just got a little too deep without a plan and then looked to kick the ball out and took an extra step, moved that pivot foot. So it's still 11. If Cheyenne can continue to defend in the half court the way they have for the last possession or two, there's a chance that they can make something happen here.
Cole Wilbur drives in left side.
And they're going to say jump. Nope, they're going to get a foul on Clemenson on the drive there. I thought they were going to call a jump, but that's the 4th on Clemenson now. But at 4:59, I think if you're Coach Brandt, you just let this develop. And Clemenson's been doing a nice job defensively for all of the half to this point. And their Central's going to take a quick timeout, so we'll do the same. Knights lead the Mustangs 58-47, 4:59 to go.
Touchmark is a place where you can really be yourself. It's a complete family atmosphere from the residents to the team members to the community.
There is just such a homey feeling here.
The energy and the positivity, I think, is what's really important. You come in, you feel like you're part of a family. You're building a relationship. You're building friendships.
We feel very blessed to be here at Touchmark.
It's incredibly important to create that family atmosphere, which is what Touchmark really values.
So back from break.
Mustang fans, Bellbank Mortgage is proud to support West Fargo Cheyenne Sports, whether you're in the classroom, at home, or both, we hope you're inspired this year to push yourself beyond what you even imagined and never stop learning. Go Mustangs, Bell Bank Mortgage, equal housing lender. So we'll see if Central draws up anything special here. Looks very similar to the baseline set that the Mustangs do. Little different wrinkle on it. Cole Wilbur gets off a three, unable to convert. They're doing a good job of keeping pay off of the offensive glass this half. And Cheyenne continues to push tempo.
Bile up top, kicks to Nile. Nile drives in, kicks out to Clemenson. Pinu drives in with the right hand, can't get that to fall. Pushed up the court to Wilbur, pump fakes and shoots.
Ooh, that
No
one
good.
thought maybe a push off by Simmers there, but no call.
Pinu pushes the court, past the Nile. Niles shoots from three. Can't get that to fall. Tipped around.
Nice job by Deere trying to keep
Yep.
that alive. Just in the end, too many Knights around there as we come down on 4 minutes to go. Still an 11-point lead for the Mustangs, but Cheyenne defending hard on the perimeter here.
Wilbur guarded by Clemenson. Gets a screen from Pay. Good defense by the Mustangs. Shot clock's under 5. Wilbur unable to get the shot off, and that'll be a shot clock violation. So good defense by the Mustangs here.
Much better intensity second half by the Mustangs, and
Yep,
they've stayed
agreed.
in this small lineup for quite some time, and this might be a sign of some things that might be coming for the Mustangs. You know, just kind of forgoing that big man. It's certainly not that the Mustangs are small. There's some length, and they do a good job of boxing out, and so they're seeming to find some success, at least against the Knights here, with the smaller lineup, as that's going to go off of a Knight off of Cole Wilbur, I think. And Cheyenne's going to take the ball out. And Caleb Deere will inbound.
Nile gets a pass. Nile in the corner. Active hands again by Wilbur. Shot clock under 5. Deere shoots from 3. Can't get that to convert. Pulled down by Wilbur. Strandell open 3. Can't get that to fall as Nile pulls that one down.
Central has certainly cooled off from the three-point line this second half. Boy, Deere had a good cut to the basket. No one saw him, but good job by Clemenson.
Great finish
going
by
strong.
Casey Clemenson.
And Cheyenne's going to take a timeout this time, so the lead's under 10, 58-49, 2:45 to go. We'll be right back.
Our health. It's what keeps us doing what we love. It keeps our communities strong. So, how are you doing? There's no easier way to take care of yourself than checking in with us, your primary care team at Essentia Health. In person or online, we offer scheduling and appointment options that fit your life. We'll care for you today and keep an eye on things for the future. And if needed, get you back on track. So take some time to connect with us, because it's always good to check in.
And welcome back out of the break.
Mustang fans, we want to take the time to thank Apex Engineering Group, who helps to make this broadcast possible. At Apex, we build confidence before we build anything. Find out more at apexenggroup.com. Well, Grant,
lead is under 10.
Under 10, 2.5 minutes.
Plenty of time.
There is time. Going to have to continue to get stops on the defensive end. Probably a little sense of urgency on the offensive end. I don't think you need to start shooting threes necessarily at this point. We just, you're going to have to look at getting baskets. And you might find that Central going to defend more heavily on the perimeter, so you might get better looks at the basket as we see a little pressure, full court from the Mustangs, just a man-to-man variety. As Niles going to try and slow Cole Wilbur down.
Wilbur in the corner, guarded by Pinu.
I think they're still going to look to see if they can get it into pay.
Strandell pulls up and gets that convert.
That's good conversion there by Strandell. Got to the middle and got an easy 10-footer.
Deer at the top of the key. Fumbled around a bit by Dylan Bile.
There's going to get Pay on that one, and that's going to put Cheyenne in the bonus. Pay trying to slow Bile down with that right hand. He's saying, I didn't do anything, but that right hand was certainly out there, slowing Bile down. So here's a chance to, it's always good if you can dig into a lead without the clock running. So a chance for Bile. Makes the first. Back to a 10-point lead as Noah Olson's going to come in for Zach Nile.
10-point lead for the Knights. 2:04 left here in the second half. Bile's second shot doesn't get to fall. Pulled down by Wilbur. Wide open Simmers. Cross-court pass tipped by Noah Olson, but Wilbur able to gain possession.
Good job by Cheyenne trapping him there on the sideline. They're going to say it went off of Cheyenne. Bile arguing his case that it went off of Ross Wilbur, but to no avail. But still, nicely done by Cheyenne to put that little trap on.
Central able to get the ball in, tipped around a bit.
Yeah, they're going to get a foul there. That was a good job by Deer to get a hand on that, but Pay was able to track it down, and then a foul on, who are they getting for that one?
Noah Olson.
Noah Olson trying to knock that ball away. There's another, good pass.
Yep.
Good job by Simmers. Great seal by Pay, getting the Mustang defender on his back and keeping him there. It's 12 points. Now you're probably at a minute 38. There has to be some threes or some very quick twos as Barry Penn, who gets to the basket, converts with the left hand. Cheyenne looking to apply a press here, a little trapping action. Barry Penn, who's going to pick up a foul. I think that might be his third or his fourth. But at a minute 24, you keep going with that. Only the 15 foul on the Mustangs, so still one to give before putting the Knights in the bonus.
Simmers able to get the ball into Strandell.
And there's a foul by Bile. So the next one will put the Knights at the line for the bonus. 10-point lead, 1:22 to go.
Simmers gets the ball into Wilbur. Gives it across half court. Simmers up top.
Dangerous pass up there, but he gets away with it.
And Strandell just dribbles the ball out of bounds, so it'll be a turnover for the Central Knights Mustangs ball.
See if you can get a quick look at a three here or get downhill, which Bile does. Unable to convert, though. So under a minute to go. Good change of speed there by Wilbur.
Pass it down low to Pay. Pay out
now Central just going to play keep away with this as long as they can until they have to take a shot. As Cheyenne has no choice but to foul, which they do at 34.7. That's going to put Cole Wilbur to the line.
Cole Wilbur, a great shooter.
Noah Olson picks up his second.
Grand Forks Central is shooting 58.18% from the line this year.
My guess, though, is Cole Wilbur is probably a little better than that.
Probably.
So Central probably just going to, some token pressure here as Wilbur makes both. Tim Brandt's going to use his last timeout to kind of set up what you're going to do the rest of the way. This will be a full timeout. We'll step away real quickly and be right back for the last 35 seconds.
coming out of the break. Cheyenne is down by 12 with 35 seconds left to go in the second half. Both teams in the bonus here.
Yeah, and at 35 seconds, you're kind of limited on what you can do. It's kind of you're going to have to get up a quick three, convert, get a steal, quick three or two. You know, this is just going to have to happen in rapid fashion.
Yep.
Cheyenne out of timeouts. So basically, Tim Brandt had to go over everything that needed to be done for the rest of the half here in his timeout. So we're going to go for the quick two, which Penu gets. Throw on the press. See if there's a chance to get a foul and send someone to the line. And that's going to be 5, I think, on Casey Clemenson.
So he'll foul out.
So we're going to go to Zach Nile off the bench to replace Clemenson. Still a 1-and-1 opportunity for the Knights. So if you can get the miss, get a rebound. It's going to have to be a three pretty soon, though. The last I checked, I don't think there are any 10-point and now 11-point shots in basketball. So it's going to have to start being threes with only 22 seconds left, and then some kind of steal and quick three again. And
1 of 2 from the line. Pulled down by Pay, though.
Pay, heads up move, gets the rebound, throws it off a Cheyenne defender. And that's going to be about it at 19 seconds left. Central really just needs, probably didn't need to foul there at 17 seconds, an 11-point lead. It's going to send Cole Wilbur back to the line. That was going to be on Zach Nile, his second foul, and this is a 1-and-1. And after this, if Cheyenne opts to foul, it's going to put the Knights at the line for 2 every time. As Wilbur makes the first.
Second shot. Converts 2 of 2 from the line. Mustangs down by 13. Nile in the corner. His shot's off. Pulled down by Barry Pinu. Deer in the corner. Another 3. Off.
And that'll do it.
So 67-54. The Knights take care of the Mustangs. Knights played tremendous basketball all the way through. The Cheyenne Mustangs played good second half basketball, a lot better than the first half.
Well, you know, one of the keys to the game that you mentioned at the beginning, Grant, was playing a complete game, both halves. And, you know, it was only a 1-point differential in the second half. Cheyenne outscoring Central by 1 in the second half. But it was really that first half that was the downfall. Some slow rotations, some giving too good a looks, uncontested shots for Central from the corner.
Yep.
And some made threes and some things like that. And that's really what probably did Cheyenne in tonight. Still turnovers, I think, plaguing them a little bit. Not taking care of the ball the way they need to. So, you know, lots of work to be done. And unfortunately for Cheyenne, the task doesn't get a whole lot easier on Friday when you play one of the top teams in the EDC in Fargo North. And, you know, there's a lot of similarities between North and Central. You know, North has a lot of team speed, a lot of good athletes with Jeremiah and Matthew Sem. They got a good post in Carter Zeller. And so, you know, a lot of the things that I think you saw Central do to Cheyenne tonight are things that North is going to try and do.
Yep.
And so it doesn't get easier for the Mustangs, but as I said, the second half was almost exclusively that smaller lineup, and that might be something that we see more of from the Mustangs. And sometimes you have to go with, you know, you're giving up a little bit of height and rim protection by maybe not having Onaman or Bryce Kane on the floor as frequently, but you know what you're gaining is a lot of team speed, a lot more defensive capabilities. So I think, you know, cleaning up that, taking care of the ball, and then just playing that complete game and going maybe with that smaller lineup is something we're going to see Coach Brandt do.
Positives for the Mustangs, they did do a good job scoring against the #1 defense in the East. Grand Forks Central only allows their opponents to shoot 35% from the field and only lets up 59 points a game. So
Yeah.
overall, they did a good enough job. It's just the Central offense was just too overpowering.
Yeah, it was. And, you know, as we said, the second half they played them even, and actually a 1-point lead for the Mustangs. It was just when you're down 14 to a solid team like Central is, you know, there's really not in high school basketball, not many times you can afford to get down by double digits like that, and we saw that lead grow, I think, to 20 at one point in the second half. You know, you just can't let that happen for if you're the Mustangs. So, you know, it's back to the drawing board. The great thing about the season is, yeah, you play a regular season and you want to win these games, but, you know, if you're not winning the games, not the end of the world, because you have a tournament coming up, and that's, as we always say, you're looking to play your best basketball when you get to tournament time, and I'm sure that's something, you know, we've also talked about is having that short memory. This one didn't go the way you wanted. The one last Saturday did. You know, either one counts for a win, one counts for a loss, but it doesn't matter because you've got another game on Friday, and that's what Cheyenne's going to have to focus on.
So with this 67-54 win over the Mustangs, the Grand Forks Central Knights will move to 4-3 in conference play. The West Fargo Cheyenne Mustangs will drop to 3-5 and 3-6 overall. So rough loss for the Mustangs, but good improvement over the through the season, and look to rebound next Friday against the Fargo North Spartans. So,
well, yeah, and like we talked about, Grant, you know, this is a team that lost a ton of experience, a ton of known commodity scorers like Mike Nile and those sorts of things. So this is something you're just going to have to work your way through. Probably not a lot of people feeling sorry for you in the EDC that you don't have Mike Nile or Jackson Money or Jaheim Leak anymore. You know, there are a lot of nights that other teams had to face those guys, and so now they're saying, hey, here's our opportunity to, you know, compete with Cheyenne. So for Coach Brandt and the coaching staff, you get back to it and you focus on the things that you're doing well, try and eliminate mistakes and make the necessary tweaks.
Well said. So for all of us here at Mustang Media, we got Aiden Knodel on producing and lots of other people helping around. Luckily to get Mr. Knodel back from his wonderful trip down in Mexico.
Yeah.
So for all of us here at Mustang Media, I'm Grant Knodel.
I'm Dan Wolf.
Have a good night.
They say I walk like a king, talk like a king. You can act around now, say the same thing. They chasing the fame, they got one the name, but they ain't got what's running through these veins. Make way for the king. Make way for the big shots, big balls, big rings, big rocks, big bag, big moves, big cars, big man, big plan, get lost, we've been this wrong. Look at me now, you can't hold me down, so give me the crown. We're not the same, we're not the same, we're not the same, we run everything. We're not the same, we're not the same,